Okay.
Something like that. But you can stay there.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm Jeff, by the way.
Oh, Jeff James.
James, please meet you, James. So James, we're going on tour, are we?
Yes, yes.
Jadi ini adalah yang apa namanya tour guide
Most
khusus.
people have very good English. One or two might need some help, but I don't have to translate everything you say.
Cool.
But yeah, you can go ahead and I'll just summarise what you say at each point if you like.
Yeah, okay.
Oke, kita skip dulu ya. Itu jadi namanya tadi James.
We're going up. What we were going to do is Okay, so what happens with Brisbane City Council's waste is this is our only landfill operating at the moment within the Brisbane City Council region. And as you know, we have a 3-bin system at our residential house. So what that means is we have one yellow top recycling bin, we have one green top green waste bin, and the third one is a red top general waste bin. So we encourage everyone, obviously, to do the right thing and recycle and take the organics out of their actually red top bin. But whatever's left, we go into the pickup truck and it comes to here.
So di rumah masing-masing itu kita punya 3 bin, kadang-kadang 2 atau 3. Yang bertutup kuning itu untuk recyclable, yang bertutup hijau green waste, sisanya itu masuk ke general waste yang bin merah. Semuanya jadi pila-pila di rumah sampai segitu, kemudian setiap minggu sekali itu dikumpulkan dengan truk besar, yang dibawa kemari. 1 minggu sekali. Jadi saya teringat karena hari Kamis sore, nanti besok pagi diambil. So nanti sore saya harus memindahkan bin ke depan rumah hari. Ya, yang merah saja.
What is that?
I don't know. We'll explain.
Okay, so what we're going to explain here, just as we park, on your right-hand side, we have what's called a renewable energy from our methane gas or gas to energy system.
Okay.
Basically what happens is the organic fraction in the red top bin will break down under anaerobic conditions and create methane gas. We cap the landfill, so we encapsulate all that gas. We put our collection tubes into the landfill and we will suck the gas out and we will put it through a generator, and that generator uses the gas as a fuel, and then the fuel obviously turns an electrical generator and it goes back into the grid as green energy.
So ini pengambilan gas methane, jadi di landfill itu waktu bahan organik ditutup, dibuang ke sana, nanti ditutup dan dimasukin pipa-pipa yang menyedot gas methane. Kemudian dipindahkan ke pabrik ini, methane-nya diambil, kemudian dipakai sebagai bahan bakar untuk membagikan listrik, sebagian yang dipakai di sini, sebagian dikembalikan ke sistem energi di luar.
So very much is you see these large, they're called flares, because what happens is any of the excess gas that we can't turn into electricity, it's a bit like a chemistry experiment. We flare them up like a Bunsen burner. That creates the methane back into carbon dioxide, which is a lot more safer for the environment.
Jadi methane itu dijadikan CO2 dan dikembalikan CO2 nanti dilepaskan.
So first question, what is the capacity of this system? We have enough landfill gas coming out to power nearly 7,000 houses within the area as a green electricity. So this is about a 4.4 megawatt system run on the methane gas.
Jadi di sini bisa membagikan listrik 4,4 megawatt, cukup untuk 7.000 rumah tangga.
7.000 megawatt.
So how big is the whole landfill altogether?
So we're going to go to the top now, but it's about 52 hectares. And as we drive up now, we're going to actually driving on the older waste, and then we're going to stop and we'll show you where the newer waste cells are.
So what we're on here is landfill underneath, yeah?
Yep.
Jadi jalan ini dibangun di atas landfill. Jadi di bawah tanah sini sudah ditumpuk-tumpukkan dulu. So how many years has this been going, please, James?
Yeah, so a bit of site history is that we've actually started filling here in 1993, so we're roughly about 25 years old.
Untuk memanfaatkan ini, satu rumah tangga bayar berapa yang 7.000 tadi?
Kalau listriknya?
Ya.
Nggak tahu, itu memang urusan perusahaan listriknya. Untuk
Ini
biaya
berarti
listriknya.
dijual ke
Listrik itu dijual ke
swasta.
ke PLN-nya.
Oh,
Iya. Jadi nanti marketing listrik dilepaskan.
oh ya.
Iya. Mereka hanya menyediakan supply ke grid. Apa yang tidak terpakai nanti dijual.
So a unique thing about our landfill is that we do what's called progressive capping. So as we finish the waste cell, we actually say to ourselves, well, we want to remediate the cell back to like a natural landform. So we have nearly 1.5 meters of clay capping and turf and remediation that goes on the top of it. And that just seals everything in, and then we're able to build roadways and everything on top to get access.
Jadi waktu penumpukan dan pembuangan sampah di sini itu dibagi-bagi menurut konsepnya sel. Kalau satu sel sudah terisi, ditutup dengan tanah liat sedalam 1,5 meter, kemudian ditutup dengan rumput, dengan tanaman, sehingga nanti bisa dibangun dan dia dibuat jalan-jalan di atasnya. Jadi bukit ini bukit buatan. Bukit buatan dulu, sebelum itu memang kosong dan diisi, lama-lama diisi.
dapat tanah dari mana ini? Tanah ini dari mana?
Ya, dari seluruh wilayah ini, kawasan ini, areal ini seluas 52 hektar.
Ini tanahnya dari mana?
Ya, dibuat satu lubang, ya, dari lubang ganti lubang, diisi lubang gitu ya. Jadi, dibuat satu lubang, nanti diisi, dipindah-pindahkan.
Kalau di Indonesia.
Jadi ini tanahnya tadi, jadi kita buat mereka buat lubang, kemudian sampahnya dimasukkan terus ditutup jadi kayak bukit-bukit indah kayak gini.
Oh iya sih, berbeda. Ya.
Jeff, you know where they get the land, the soil, where the soil come from?
From here,
Yeah.
from here originally.
Oh,
So they make
okay.
a hole, put
Yeah.
the soil, ditumpukan, and then they fill the dirt, and they cover it again, and then they make another hole.
Okay.
So they're always digging different holes.
Okay.
So di area yang seluas 52 hektar itu banyak lubang-lubangnya.
Oke.
Satu dibuat lubangnya, nanti diisi, makan waktu beberapa tahun baru diisi, nanti ditutup, nanti bikin lubang lagi. So I don't know, di sini sudah beroperasi selama 25 tahun, 25 years already. So they've been going a long time. Yeah.
Inbound loop.
It's getting must be getting close to the action. It's like going to a volcano in Indonesia, isn't it?
Jadi kayak gini landfill mereka.
Kalau ini namanya tangkuban perahu.
Tangkup ban
So on your
sampah.
right hand side out there you'll see the actual Brisbane city, so we have probably the best views in Roachdale at the moment.
Wow, ya kotanya di sana kawan-kawan. Tuh kotanya di sana.
So that's the city over there.
Iya. Kelihatan kan gedung-gedungnya dari sana. Tuh city-nya. Dan kita dari sini, wow.
So James, all the dirt soil here is from all on site, is it? You just dig a hole, move the soil away, put it back, and yeah, that's.
Iya. Nah, itu dia.
So
Jadi posisinya seperti ini nih kawan-kawan. Jadi dibuat lubang, terus
So
dimasukkan.
the question's been asked a few times. Obviously, yes, we are on top of what you are seeing down there. So we are on top of waste, but we also do actually have the need to get clean material or day cover brought in. So if you have a look at how much residential development is in the area, all those development companies want to get rid of their clean fill. So we actually receive the clean fill here to actually put around the tip face so that we don't get any litter leaving our site. We're completely covering the entire lot.
I'll listen first. Oke, jadi tadi ada yang bertanya mengenai dari mana tanahnya. Sebagian dari tanah ini memang dari situs ini sendiri. Tapi kalau kita melihat di keliling itu ada perumahan baru. Kalau developer yang membuat kelurahan baru di sini itu ingin menggali dan meratakan tanah yang mau dibuang, jadi mereka memindahkan tanah ke sini juga, sebagian.
So a little bit of explanation about how it's going to operate up the top here. We've got, see there's a small collection truck down the bottom. He's come and picked up all the bins from the people's curbside collection. He comes in here and dumps it off. It is then our job to use that large compactor. It's at 58 tonnes, and we will basically compact the waste into nearly 0.85 of a cubic metre density, and that will get us the most airspace out of our landfill.
Oke, jadi truk yang kelihatan sebelah kiri itu mengambil sampah dari rumah. Jadi dari rumah tangga itu
Truk sebelah kiri ngambil sampah dari rumah.
What's the capacity of the truck? For how many households would that truck this take, would that be 1,000 houses?
No, nearly 500 per truck.
500. So 500 rumah tangga.
500 rumah
Ya, sampah dari 500 rumah tangga masuk ke truk yang
diangkut,
tulisan tanks.
sampahnya
Terus
diangkut
dibawa
yang
kemari di
truk
apa,
itu,
dibawa.
yang
Kemudian
tanks ya.
pakai kompaktor ya, kendaraan berat yang di bawah itu nanti memadatkan
500 rumah per satu
memaksimalkan kepadatan dan
per
meminimalkan
satu truk itu.
udara
Kemudian dipadatkan,
sela-selanya.
jadi
Dipadatkan sekali, kemudian ditutup.
yang maju mundur itu dia
So one of the
memadatkan.
questions is here,
Yang satunya
what's that other product down there? Brisbane City Council, obviously we're a council who do a lot of roadways and correct people's potholes, and we take the scalpings off the roads and we actually bring it here as an all-weather material, which means that if it was pouring down rain today, we can still get our trucks in and out because we use a gravel, and we actually keep on covering the waste so the trucks can get right back on top of where the waste is, and once it's all completely covered and then rolled off, it will look like what's at the back. So if you actually have a look at the back over there where all the other trucks are parked, that's actually what it looks like when it's finished, and this is basically how they're actually compacting to finish the day off.
Jadi kita lihat tumpukan tanah di sini yang sebenarnya tanah dan aspal yang sisa-sisa dari pembangunan jalan dibawa kemari, kemudian setelah dikompakkan, ditutup, dan berarti ini bisa beroperasi dalam kondisi cuaca apapun. Kalau hujan deras di sini nggak apa-apa karena masih bisa dilewati truk ya. Did you have a question, Pak Andy? What was your question? Okay, so Tanya. Yeah, so you've got 52 hectares, you've been going for 25 years. When do you think it'll be full?
So population of Brisbane is this. it's growing, so the population will grow, which means that we get more waste per year. But what the council is trying to do is that per person, we are trying to make each person's waste tonnage go down for each individual. So based on our current volumes, and politically we can only say that it's around the 2022 mark, but then that could go up or it could go down. It's not committed yet, but that's about how much life of the landfill we'd have left, depending on the amount that comes in and out.
When you say 2022, that's 4 more years, 3 more years.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So memang banyaknya itu sampah di sini memang tiap tahun menanjak, tapi diusahakan juga dengan kegiatan sosial untuk mengurangi jumlah per kapita. Tapi meskipun begitu, dengan proyeksi yang dibuat sekarang itu, tempat ini akan terisi tahun 2022. Jadi 3 tahun lagi akan penuh. So after then, is there another site which you've got to?
So basically what we're trying to do is encourage everyone to recycle more, which means tonnages go down, which means you could go for longer. But our unique is that council have 2 other landfills, which is subcontracted out, which we can take the waste to after that. So there's always a home for the waste. It's just that this facility will always go to an endpoint. And like most of the community landfills, we actually return this back to bikeways or off-leash dog parks or lookouts or anything really at the end of the day when we do our final post-closure care.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to use this for construction or housing anymore?
No, we remove the construction because this will actually subside probably 2 or 3 metres. It will subside down, and then obviously anything structurally built on here wouldn't last that very long. So yeah, it'll only be ever used as passive recreation.
So nanti kalau tempat ini sudah full, sudah penuh itu, nanti ada 2 tempat lagi seperti ini di luar yang akan menerima sampah di masa depan. Kalau seluruh daerah ini nanti tertutup dan terisi, akan ditutup dengan rumput dan dibuat taman untuk tempat rekreasi umum. Tidak bisa dipakai untuk pembangunan karena memang dalam waktu beberapa tahun lagi akan turun, katanya diamalkan akan turun mungkin 2 atau 3 meter sampai ke bawah itu selama beberapa puluh tahun yang mendatang. Jadi selama-lamanya itu mungkin lebih baik jangan dipakai untuk bangunan. Tapi ini menjadi tempat rekreasi yang pasif bagi manusia yang mau datang kemari untuk main di lapangan atau jalan-jalan atau bikeway naik sepeda.
So I'll for all the engineers in the bus, I'll explain a little about the landfill engineering of this landfill. If you look in the background or the distance over there, that is actually an old clay quarry, which is they use the clay for bricks. And what had happened was 25 years ago, we actually bought this site off the clay quarry area. Why we bought this site is because we knew that we had very good high permeability clay underneath the liner. So when you start designing the landfill cells at the base, you put the clay layer, then you put the plastic layer, and then you can put the leachate ground layer and then build waste on top of that. So it's 2 layered at the base.
Jadi kelihatan di belakang sana itu bekas quarry atau penambangan tanah liat yang dipakai untuk membuat batu bata. Kemudian beberapa tahun yang lalu dibeli dari perusahaan itu. Dari segi teknik itu sangat bagus dan sangat cocok sebagai tempat pembuangan sampah, sebab di bawah sekali itu ada tanah liat, nanti dibuat plastiknya, kemudian ditutup dengan landfill, kemudian ditutup dengan tanah biasa. Dari lapis-lapis itu sebenarnya paling optimal untuk menerima, ya, untuk memang terima curah hujan dan memberi kesempatan untuk processing atau degradasi dari sampah yang sudah terkubur. What's the daily capacity of?
Okay, so per day, we would probably receive up to 60 semi-trailers of waste into this facility.
60 truk gandeng, semi-trailer.
60 truk gandeng.
Somebody likes numbers here.
Each truck weighs roughly 30 tons of waste, so 30 times 60.
Per truk 30 ton per hari.
There's no separation of the waste here. What comes here is just basically...
Yeah, so the separation of what our waste is happens at our resource recovery centres. So people actually go there to do all the metal recycling, cardboard separation, a lot of those things happen here. So we only really get what's left in the red top bin. And you can see it's all it is majority of that is organics, food waste, and plastic bags from the households. So uniquely, I guess, the other environmental controls we have up here is that we don't want this litter to blow anywhere. So on your left, we've got the high litter screens and we've got the low chicken wire litter screens to collect any wind-blown litter. And plus, this compactor itself has those wheels that are spiky. It will actually compress the plastic and the material into the landfill more so we don't get the wind to blow around.
If it's raining... Sorry?
About the pipe, you can see the
Sorry, I can't hear. Leachate itu memang ditutup dengan plastik.
So another question is leachate production. So we would say, okay, how would we control that? When we explain and we do the design of the base of the cell, that is actually like a big bowl and it has a leachate collection sump in there. So as the leachate percolates through the cell and through the waste, it goes down to the bottom collection sump. We can then pump that off, treat it with aeration and pH, and we have a trade waste to sewer discharge, which safely discharges the leachate from site.
Jadi waktu membuat sel, dibuat waduk masing-masing itu dengan satu tangki di bawah untuk leachate-nya. Jadi nanti leachate itu keluar, ya tercuci dan mengalir ke bawah itu di tangki itu, kemudian di pre-processing dengan aerobic processing. Setelah nanti kotoran itu sudah diolah, dikembalikan ke dalam sistem perpipaan lewat processing tinja itu. Jadi leachate itu memang keluar secara sistematis, tidak ada yang turun lagi ke bawah.
We have a large content of food waste in there, obviously, but there's one ute in the middle there. His job is to scare the birds or disperse the ibis or the crows so they don't actually have any birds at the landfill eating the artificial food. So his total job is just for bird dispersal.
So, satu hal yang saya lupa tadi itu memberitahu itu bahwa di sini ada pagar pakai jala itu untuk mencegah terbawanya sampah-sampah dengan angin. Kemudian tugas orang yang bekerja di mobil putih itu untuk menakuti burung.
Pantas saya lihat
Jadi,
tadi kemarin.
Jadi mobil putih itu jadi tugasnya mobil yang putih itu adalah untuk menakut-nakuti burung supaya mereka nggak nyari makan di sini.
Okay, so the question is how many pipes is basically at the base of the cell. So,
How many? How often?
oh, okay,
Because you have to
once.
years.
No, so what happens is, how it works is that the leachate system is put at the base, and we can show you some photos in the education room. It's actually large, very large PVC pipes with holes drilled into it, and we actually use a gravel layer at the base so it doesn't get hurt from the waste. And that will actually, when we do a lift, we can only do lifts in 4 meters. So we do one lift all the way across where we finish, then we go back again, and we actually will strip out all the dirt that we've put on that lift and then put the waste back onto the waste. So we actually keep taking away the dirt. And what it does is as we get higher, it actually gives the leachate room to keep dripping down through the actual waste all the way to the bottom again. So you would think, okay, so the leachate is going to be dripping down to the bottom. Then the other question was, how do you get the gas? So what we end up doing that in the leveling of where the waste is put, we actually put the gas lines horizontally as we lift through, so it doesn't cause us any dramas. But then as we keep getting higher, we'll actually come back and then we drill down vertical. And we've got 163 vertical gas collection tubes on site, and then that gas is sucked out and goes back down to the energy plant. So you'll actually see these large big black pipes on the edge of the landfill. All those large black pipes are what's sucking the landfill gas back down to the energy plant.
So, sedikit informasi tentang leachate itu, setiap waduk itu dibangun dengan adanya pipa-pipa yang berlubang, pipa PVC yang nanti ditutup dengan kerikil, kemudian menerima leachate itu yang bentuk cairan itu nanti dialirkan ke suatu waduk di bawah lagi, yang nanti isinya dibersihkan dengan aerobik, kemudian dipindahkan ke tempat lain. Terus untuk pengambilan metan dibuat, did you say 163 pipes or something?
Yes, yeah.
Jadi 163 pipa yang vertikal untuk menangkap gas metan. Jadi pengambilan gas itu dibuat secara terus-menerus. Nah, setiap dibuat satu lapis sampah itu sekarang ditutup dengan tanah kan. Orang sebelah di depan kita itu menutup sampah. Kemudian waktu nanti mau dibuat lapis lagi, tanah itu akan dibersihkan, diambil. Kemudian lapisan yang berikut nanti akan ditumpukan lagi di atas tumpukan yang sudah dibuat sana. Berarti berkali-kali itu nanti ditinggikan sehingga leachate dari yang bagian atas itu masih bisa mengalir sampai ke bawah sekali dan tidak tertutup lagi.
We can't see any gas pipe.
Gas pipe. The gas pipes are not so visible here.
No, not here, but as we go back down, I'll show you a gas manifold, and then you'll see how many tubes come off it. While we're up here as well, everyone's thinking, oh, they're in a nice aircon bus, but we actually do get the odour from the waste. So if you look out the window now, we've turned on the deodorizer system. They're on those, just outside there's a mist or a T-piece that comes off. So that actually surrounds the entire landfill, and periodically when we close or when we have actually odorous waste, we turn those on, and it actually has an odor eating molecule in that, and will actually neutralize the odor before it goes off site.
Gas yang keluar dari sana itu bisa memakan bau dari landfill. Jadi itu namanya odor itu menghilangkan atau mengurangi itu bau tidak sedap dari landfill.
Jadi uap yang keluar dari itu untuk menyedot bau yang dari
So when we go back down, I'll show you the leachate treatment plant.
Oke, kita stop dulu ya, supaya videonya pendek.